For today's headlines, Duterte wants probe on false COVID-19 tests of Philippine Red Cross lab. Artist Bree Jonson found dead in La Union. 2022 polls, Yorme, Pacman, Leni joining forces. Higher, slower COVID cases in NCR. MMDA culling rogue enforcers. 2 teens injured in U.S. high school shooting. Phl cranks rehab with more flights. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is September 21, 2021 and these are the latest news this Tuesday morning. There's no stopping President Rodrigo Duterte from training his guns on the Philippine Red Cross as he directed the Department of Health to investigate the alleged false positives among the COVID-19 tests conducted by the organization. Speaking at his public address Monday night, Duterte slammed once again the non-governmental organization chaired by Senator Richard Gordon, who earned his ire for leading a Senate inquiry into the administration's controversial purchase of medical supplies. Earlier in the day, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said local experts have been looking into an incident in Subic where some hospital personnel tested positive for COVID-19 but yielded negative results from their confirmatory tests 3 days later. Their first tests were reportedly conducted by a PRC laboratory. RT-PCR, although considered by medical experts as the gold standard for confirmatory testing, is not 100% accurate. This was not the first time that Duterte had assailed the PRC. In his public address a week ago, he asked Solicitor General Jose Calida, the government's lead counsel, to formally request the Commission on Audit to immediately scrutinize the use of public funds received by the PRC. In the same speech last week, the president questioned Gordon and the PRC for supposedly collecting fees for blood donations the organization had collected from volunteers. Gordon has since explained that the PRC is charging money for costs associated with collecting, testing, preparing, labeling, storing, and shipping blood, as well as recruiting and educating donors of the vital fluid. Police on Monday filed a drug case against Julian Roberto Onpin after his companion, painter Bree Jonson, was found dead at a beach resort in San Juan, La Union, where they stayed over the weekend. A case for violation of Sections 11 and 15 of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Law was filed against Onpin, son of businessman Roberto Onpin, according to the Ilocos Regional Police. This was after San Juan police found 12.6 grams of cocaine in the hotel room where the younger Onpin and Jonson had checked in, Regional Police Director Brigadier General Emmanuel Peralta said. Onpin was also subjected to a drug test and turned out positive for cocaine use, Peralta said in a statement. According to the official, these were the initial findings after the 30-year-old Jonson, born Brianna Patricia Jonson Agunod, was found dead in what was first reported as a suicide on Saturday. Onpin, Jonson's alleged boyfriend, is a person of interest, Peralta said. Investigation is ongoing to determine the real cause of death of the victim and to be able to gather pieces of evidence for possible filing of other charges if evidence warrants, he said. Peralta said he has already instructed the La Union Provincial Police to conduct a thorough investigation. He also ordered the Regional Investigation and Detective Management Division, Regional Intelligence Division, Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, and Scene of the Crime Operation to closely coordinate and support the provincial police in its probe. The Regional Legal Service was also tapped to assist in the investigation and to act as crime scene attorney. Peralta extended sympathies to Jonson's family. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso is expected to declare his bid for a national position. What's crucial today is his decision whether to seek the presidency or to slide down as number 2 to Senator Emmanuel Manny Pacquiao. A day after Pacquiao has accepted his nomination as the top candidate of the renegade PDP Laban that he heads himself, Moreno is also likely to declare his intention to try his chance at a national post yet again, a Tribune source shared. His choice, however, will largely depend on the result of talks between Pacquiao and his camp, although Moreno on Monday admitted that talks are ongoing to form what the supporters called is an unbeatable duo. A third force is also in the mix, as Moreno admitted the participation of Vice President Leni in the talks. It means the possible alliance among three mainstream parties considered marginal in the present political spectrum: Pacquiao's PDP Laban Wing, Moreno's Acción Democrático, and Robredo's Liberal Party, once the group in power but was largely decimated by President Rodrigo Duterte's reformation of the PDP Laban that is now led by Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi. Moreno had tried running for a national post. He ran for senator under the Partido ng Masang Pilipino ticket in 2016, but failed to make the magic 12 when he finished at number 16. He was the top finisher among all PMP candidates, though. A sure win if he seeks re-election, however, also weighs on his decision. Pressure, however, is expected to come from his own followers, as more politicians are also joining his camp. Tribune News on Q will be back after these short reminders.
Magpabakuna kayo.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Magandang araw mga katribo! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Comfy Manalo, Chinky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chirk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas ng mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Sama-sama natin alamin ang mga natatagong istorya sa mga latest na kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Simulan ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments dito sa ating programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga at magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Magpabakuna kayo.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. In other news, the Department of Health on Monday said that COVID-19 cases in the National Capital Region continue to increase but at a slower rate. Maria Rosario Vergires said in a virtual media briefing this is evident in the positive growth rates in the capital region over the past month. She said as of September 19, the 2-week growth rate in NCR was 17%, lower but still positive compared to the 2-week growth rate of 32% 2 to 4 weeks ago. The official also said that the continuous increase of COVID-19 cases in Metro Manila is evident by the higher average daily attack rate in the area. Vergires said the average daily attack rate in NCR in the recent 2 weeks was 39.56 per 100,000 population, a little higher compared to 33.71 per 100,000 population 2 to 3 weeks ago. The average daily reported cases from 13 to 19 of September were 5,136, 13% lower compared to the previous week's reported cases of 5,916. Meanwhile, at the national level, the DOH said a new peak was being observed every week since the start of August. The average number of cases in the recent week is twice as much as the average cases in the last week of March, Vergires said. The country's new peak was recorded from 6 to 12 of September, with 20,959 cases, surpassing the previous peak recorded from March 29 to April 4, with 10,431 cases. Vergires said that the rest of Luzon is at a continuous uptrend, while Visayas and Mindanao are plateauing. She added that 13 regions have shown a decrease in its 2-week growth rate, such as the NCR, Cordillera Administrative Region, Caraga, Regions 1, 4A, 3, and 11. The decrease in 2-week growth rate was also observed in Region 6, 9, 5, 12, and 12. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority has issued a stern warning to lazy, habitual absentee, and rogue traffic enforcers that they must shape up or risk losing their jobs. MMDA Traffic Chief Bong Nebrija served this notice to keep all of their personnel on the go and uninfluenced by the bad eggs. Nebrija said the attrition rate at the MMDA traffic service, especially those detailed at the 24-kilometer-long Epifanio de los Santos Avenue, or EDSA, traversing several metro cities, has been very high. He revealed that MMDA has 500 traffic enforcers deployed on 7 to 7 or 12-hour duties to keep the traffic along EDSA and other major thoroughfares flowing smoothly. He admitted that vehicle traffic in the metro has been light in the past months due to the pandemic, but that the agency still has to make its personnel very visible. The inspectorate and intelligence teams are on the lookout to make sure that those who are lazy, always absent, and mulctors are being monitored, Bree said. He said that they have ways to catch even savvy recidivists among MMDA traffic enforcers who take advantage of closed-circuit television blind spots to do their shenanigans. For our world news, two 17-year-olds were injured in a shooting at a high school in the U.S. state of Virginia on Monday, officials said, adding that the suspect had been arrested after fleeing the scene. One person, a male juvenile, is in police custody, Newport News Police Department said in a statement after shots were fired at the Heritage High School. Police said a 17-year-old male and a 17-year-old female were taken to hospital with gunshot wounds that were not life-threatening. After a year spent largely learning online, U.S. schools have returned to the classroom, reviving the fear of on-campus shootings, with multiple small-scale incidents reported in recent weeks. As Monday's incident unfolded, students were evacuated to the school's tennis courts, where parents were asked to collect them. The suspect, who was arrested after leaving the premises, has known to be the victims, police said. Police dismissed reports to active shooters at other schools in the city of Newport News. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
It's time for the world to know. Outstanding Filipinos in America. The 11th Outstanding Filipinos in America Awards 2021. A salute to the heroes of coronavirus. Coming back live in person at the Carnegie Hall in New York City, home of the TOFA Awards since 2011.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. Flag carrier Philippine Airlines is expanding its international and domestic flights to serve more travelers after the government eases quarantine restrictions for vaccinated individuals to get its rehabilitation program off the ground. The carrier's petition for a Chapter 11 creditor protection had received approval in the United States. As travel restrictions ease, they are progressively increasing flights on high-density routes and operating special commercial and repatriation flights to build passenger traffic, Phl SVP and Chief Strategy and Planning Officer Dexter Lee said Monday. While demand may not come back to pre-pandemic levels until 2024, they will implement a fleet and network plan that will maintain Philippine Airlines as a market leader in the international and domestic sectors, he said. The Lucio Tan-led airline will increase flights to San Francisco, Hong Kong, Los Angeles, Guam, Singapore, Dubai, Doha, Nagoya, and Fukuoka, while continuing special flights to Auckland, Vietnam, and points in Australia next month. More flights to Honolulu and Taipei will come online by the last week of November. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, Araneta Center, Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista, and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning!
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.